All right, so we are live. So let me check my handy dandy cell phone to make sure that it's actually doing that. Okay. What subscriptions? Here we go. Yeah, we're live. Okay. I see us. I lower the volume before it goes.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if I'm too staticky or whatever.
Oh, I will. Let me see. I'm gonna share this now. Copy link and share. Hi everyone. If you guys are here, say hello and please share this live video for us. Thank you. Oh, well, you know, it would help if. Hold on. There's only. Let me see.
It's Friday.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
I
Friday.
know. So you were talking about new environments, huh? How did that feel? Like, did you get it before Mercury went retrograde?
Who, me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome everybody, and hi, Starry. It's the first time we've been able to connect on live together, and I appreciate the time that we are going to be able to set with each other.
Yes.
And so, um, welcome everybody, and the energy's been pretty wild. I kind of almost feel like in a lot of ways I got like mind zapped, and really like been really tired, but I'm not complaining. So it's not that I'm complaining. I'm just talking about I feel like a lot of people were experiencing those same energies. I know you wrote me an email yesterday, and it's almost like you called it. I was like, heck yeah. And so basically trying to balance everything out and let the new frequencies regroup, and I keep feeling like something's like touched, like massaging in my ear, on both my ears. Like that's been happening. Like somebody's like spirits messing with my ears,
Oh,
but not in a freaky way. I just feel like it's like little, upgrades.
mhm.
And so I just go with the flow and just try to stay in my lane. How have you been? And have you been experiencing what's your experience been?
Well, it's been more like the out of nowhere I would get like little insights on like certain people collectively and things like that, and
Yeah.
because I'm just like, what's going on with people? Like, what's going on? Like, and then of course my own clients messaging me like, hey, I had this experience, talking about their experience and asking about like, what's going on? Because this is weird. And
Yeah.
a lot of them have had activations. A lot of them have had new beginnings, like instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden they were hired for like how I was like asking you about your job, like hired to for a new position or a new job or something, and they're just like out of the blue. They're like, okay.
I think when it comes to the position I'm in now, I think that there was a up until this point, what I can understand, I feel like there's like a healing process or a process or something that needs to be solidified for
Hmm.
me, and also, but in full circle in the same sense, because there's a lot of energies there as well that are very uh, I keep wanting to say remembering, you know what I mean, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I guess I just had to say it. So and also how we're all connected and combined. I keep seeing like different, how
Hmm.
you can see yourself in everyone in certain ways, or how everybody kind of chimes and plays a role. Everything mirrors around.
Hmm.
So something's being mirrored and
Yeah.
brought back around, I feel.
Yeah.
Probably
Hmm.
I for restoration and healing, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. There was
so
a lot of that. There was a lot of
mhm,
that actually.
mhm,
There's a lot of
yeah.
divine feminine healing behind everything too. Like a lot of that I picked up on because I was just like, damn, everybody's going through some stuff. Like,
I know. Have you ever been driving and feel like you're not the one driving, like you're on
yeah.
Jesus, like you're on autopilot? I've been pulled over like that before, and I was doing like 80. I was doing like 80 in a 55 in the through this little town, and and I didn't even realize that my little soccer truck could go that, like could kick some speed like that, and and I got pulled over, and the officer was like, "Ma'am, do you know?" I was like, I looked at him. I said, "I'm honestly, I don't even realize I was even going that fast." I was like, I was, I was driving. I knew what I was doing, but I was like not. I was in a zone. So, and it's almost like it's almost a lot of times that feels like timeline jumping or something, and it's pretty wild when that happens as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like several clients say that it's like the shift of timelines happened, like they could tell like right away, like the clock would be like a second later, they're just like, what happened to my day? And I'm like, well,
Or it just completely stops, and it's almost
yeah,
like all of a sudden their time will move really super fast, and then all of a sudden you feel like 3 hours went by, but it was only an hour.
yeah,
And
uh-huh.
I was like, I've had that too, for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, they had a lot of that going on. But yeah, that
Yes.
was my experience. It's just the collective information about like divine feminine healing and things like that. And then, well, doing ceremony and things like that. So I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then, of course, a lot of the like going back, like how many generations of healing and when did it take place and who started and what, like just a lot of that stuff. And then, um, some auditory stuff. Like I don't really get auditory stuff; it's more clairvoyant stuff that I get. But there were some because my sister has auditory stuff. But I was like, now I know how she feels with people whispering in your ear
Hmm.
or saying like, "Hey," and then saying some weird language, and you're just like, "What language is that? I don't know who you
Yeah.
are."
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well,
so yeah, I had
that
a lot of that happening, especially on the full moon when I was outside doing my rituals and stuff, and it was like really pitch black. So I was just like, yeah, I'm really comfortable at night because I could see things, but I couldn't see this particular thing. I could just hear a whisper. Look, just
Oh my, that's this little ring light just like completely zapped out, and it's a plug-in. It's not a battery.
oh my god. But yeah, so when it's dark, I'm okay, And so this time it was this
You
weird.
were just said when it's dark, you're
Yeah,
okay,
and
and
then
all of
it
a
just
sudden,
went
like
dark.
it keeps messing. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time. Welcome, everyone. We're
Yeah.
grateful that you are joined.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, before we got on too, I think I told you my whole computer. Okay, so my laptop. I bet I always it seems like what we are in a retrograde, right? So that's
Mhm.
interesting because when I was out with the Hope dealer the other night, we were having all types of technical difficulties, like in the beginning of Transmutation Station, like when we first started, and then I always say not today, not today, and I'll keep trying to get on, and all of a sudden that happened where I kept sending her the StreamYard, and we kept trying to get on and connect. And then I'm typing her on my cell phone. I was like, dude, it's like totally frozen. It's frozen out. It won't even let me tap the screen. And then luckily at that time I was able to connect on the laptop, right? Because I kept trying. And then tonight my laptop, because I thought, okay, I always try to power them both up just in case I got one or the other. And
Yeah.
so but anyway, the laptop like went completely down, so I totally rebooted the whole laptop, and in the process of that my whole cell phone like shut down, powered down on its own like that too. And so I was like, okay, well, whatever, come having our high water, we're going to be here. So um
So
I'm
like
trying I'm trying to stop swearing
yeah,
so much, even though they're just sentence enhancers. I'll probably drop a few F bombs tonight if nobody
yeah.
minds.
No, that's
Don't take it offense. But when you're talking about the divine feminine, that's interesting because somebody shared with me. I feel I feel that connecting part too. That's the other piece to the puzzle that needs to be balanced out and restored. And somebody actually shared something with me today at work too for me to watch. And I enjoy that because it's like I always feel, the messages are always delivered no matter how they
mhm.
come, how they come, what we're meant to hear and things like that always comes through. So That's interesting. You brought that up. So that was a synchronicity, and it is I do believe it's collective as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like all of a sudden people are having the same similar experiences, I would say, not exactly
Mm-hmm.
very similar energy that they're describing, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, damn. like,
Yeah, I know.
like I
And
guess I wasn't wrong about that. Like
I know. And well, I'll tell you what though, you never in you probably even like the last 2 days, it's like you and it doesn't happen to me often because I usually am pretty high energy. Even if I'm tired, I'll get spunked up. Sometimes I'm like, woo, ready to go. And but I was it's not too often that I'm just like put right down tired. And I was really feeling that the last 2 days.
yeah, yeah. So
Um
I was like, I'm
and
gonna message her and see if she's okay because I want to do this another time because everybody keeps thinking, So I'm like,
I
I'm
know.
feeling the collective energy like that too.
I,
So I'm gonna see
I,
what's going on.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was. It was really heavy, and then I was getting all types of, how you get just all different energies coming into,
yeah,
so it's kind of like, where is this? What, like, it's like, where is this all coming from? And I was like, okay, stay in your lane. That's my new tagline. Stay in your lane. um, so that's what, and I just think everything, just throughout our whole journey. I can't speak for you, but I can speak, for myself. And I think anybody watching or watches this later, it's kind of like, if we got to slow down, and sometimes things just got to settle and solidify, and kind of restore and regenerate and kind of, and sometimes we just don't have to do nothing because the divine's working it through for us.
yeah,
you
exactly.
know
Mhm.
and I think that that's really integration of frequency that's taken place even now. But I did feel a shift better today than, you know what I mean, a bit. Oh no, I heard uplift, like an uplifted lifting of the energy, uplifting of the
Yeah,
energy.
it
So
did.
today was, yeah, a lot better
Yeah,
overall.
we're moving away from Taurus to Gemini season today too. So you can probably you're already excited. Oh my God, it's Gemini season coming in. That's why it's shifting.
I think I got Jupiter in Gemini,
Oh, you do?
but I'm not sure I'm not, I think so. I could be wrong. I think I do though. I think
I don't have any Gemini except for Chiron and Gemini, and that's it. And everything
Mhm.
else is more Earth energy. I have a lot of Earth, a lot of grounded energy.
Yeah. And then I kept seeing, and here's another thing too. I kept seeing, I had a couple people with like double digit birthdays.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like 11/11 birthdays,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and people with my family's birthday that,
Oh,
keeps coming, and all, like with the numbers. I get a lot of numbers sometimes, and I just kind of, well, whatever it means in the moment,
mhm.
that's what I take.
Yeah. Hi guys. Hi everyone. I know I
We're
know.
just chit
Yeah.
chatting. Hi everyone. Hi
About
Skywalker.
Yeah, we're just talking about the full moon energy. What are your guys' thoughts about? Well, let's see what you guys felt during the shift, because obviously it was a big shift for everyone. But yeah, so there's a lot going on for the collective. I think beyond what we are seeing, socially speaking, what's being given to us on the screen by other entities. um, and beyond that, we're looking at the collective, the actual soul. We're not looking at the superficial stuff that we are being fed. We're looking at the energy that is actually underneath that, and it seems that it is a grand healing processing for the divine feminine within everyone, male or female, whatever you identify as. There is both energies within you, and both need to be balanced. But I feel like this time the feminine definitely needed something, and especially because we had two feminine energies. The moon was in Scorpio, which is a feminine energy, and then we have the sun was in Taurus, which is also a feminine energy. So there's a lot of feminine energy, and then we got the star Algol, which is the Medusa's head, which is feminine energy, and it's actually Ptolemy with his I don't agree with this guy because he has some problems with women. I swear to God. Also, the ancient Greeks had like a problem with women. I swear to God. His Medusa was a victim, you know, and so
Because
um,
they.
so that's what the star algol represents is Medusa's head, right? When the you know Perseus cut it off of her or whatever, you know. And so that all of that stuff, all that feminine rage and anger and healing and also beauty and nurturance was all in combined collectively and within all of us, and we felt it. We felt that, and we felt the need for our own internal healing and our generational healing, and you know all that stuff. So it was
Oh, lots and lots of generational healing. Oh,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
good goodness. Lots. Um, I was just gonna say something to collaborate with that about the yeah, the shifts in the Mother Earth, and you know, because I even noticed too, like with or me and my friends were talking about you notice that at certain points too that there weren't like a lot of birds or nothing as much as normal. And then now they all kind of starting to kind of come out again. But I felt like it was something energetically too, and not just with the seasons, you know. Because there's certain increments that I'll see like a whole bunch of, like I would call my little buddies, and even if I sit outside and I'm just looking to see around, then all of a sudden everything just seems like it's flatlined, and then the next day there's a whole bunch of them out there. I'm like, okay, there you are. And a lot with the butterflies and things like that, just as like, you know, seeing people with butterflies on their shirts or butterflies on their purses, and then somebody's talking about butterflies randomly, and all of a sudden it's like 1, 2, 3. And I've been seeing 1, 2, 3 forever. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So everything is in order, you know, right?
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. Hey J Lo, thank you all for watching.
Thank you for the sticker, J Lo. Is a little it's a pear. It's a little pear. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, think about all throughout history, the repression and the control over the feminine energy. And even if I don't know if we often speak, I don't know if I want to say this. I do it, I don't. But
do it.
Since I don't have a censor, no. I just think that when you said all of the energies, I think that I like to call it I don't like to give it too much credit, but I think the gremlins are running scared a little bit. And then the part of where just some of the maybe misconceptions or the misconnotations, where it was geared toward all the masculine in all the teachings throughout history, you know, even the whole Adam and Eve thing.
Yeah,
right?
And like, before, you know, before secular religion was ever prominent, like even paganism was about the feminine and the masculine, you know, they knew because of nature, they observed nature and animals and plant life and the earth and what they felt and what they saw, you know. And then when the philosophy came in and, you know, all that stuff, and then they shifted. That's when the shift happened, where we're trying to go into the masculine more, because it was a necessity, I guess, you know, of course, human necessity for purpose. Well, and yeah, it does seem that we're shifting back, like we're trying to shift, but we're trying to balance. You're not trying to just go straight feminine, you know, like
right. Like where there's an equal, like you said, an equal balance of both parts. But obviously with the whole Adam and Eve thing or whatever, that's just my simplistic way to, or when I think about things, like, and I was like, okay, well, you know, everything to co-create, you know, there's a positive and a negative, you know, a feminine and whatever. So to bring up that whole temptation in the apple, maybe the apple and the temptation was to be distracted from the worldly distractions, you know what I mean? And it wasn't actual where they placed the whole, you know, religious connotation around it. But, you know, and no disrespect to anybody with the religions and things like that, because I do respect all religions and I do appreciate what things for what they are, you know what I mean? It's like, so when you're, you know, you don't have to believe in my opinion, but but I think that it's the collaboration and the balancing, the grounding, like we said. It just, there's so many things. Actually, you do a lot. I don't know why we're going off track now. I wanted to ask you some things. Wait, about not or just to get your because I know you do a lot with shamanism and things like that, and I guess my way that I think is that, or what I interpret is that shamanism kind of, I feel like we're in a new age in a sense of reconstructing the old programming, in the sense of, like, to me the shamanism would be considered like the path, the Jesus path in a way, and when the whole red road of suffering. But I think that that's part of this balancing energy too, is that if that that it's not all about that, it doesn't have to be that way, it's just shifts in perception, and I think there's a whole new structural foundation being written around that as well, is what I wanted to say. And I was wondering, did you have any insight or opinion on that? And I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I figured you were the one that I would like to ask about that.
So basically, there's different schools of thought when it comes to the philosophy of shamanism, because it is definitely a philosophy and a way of life, you know, and it's not a religion or anything like that. It's just the way of life, the way that you live your life, right? If you choose to live your life, connecting with nature, then that's a form of it. If you choose to live your life being a healer and helping and assisting, people, that's another form, So my road is based on curanderismo, and it's a Mexica practice of Toltec wisdom, and that's coming from Mexico. And so how I was raised is like, believe that you have the ability to heal yourself and assist others in believing that they can heal themselves too. And all you can do is provide them with the tools that the natural world has already given us, and like plant medicines and things like that, and spirits. Belief is a very important thing for people to heal. And so my family is kind of like a mixture of, some of them are Catholics, and all of them are like, a lot of them are like, no, they're not. I was like, we're heathens or pagans or whatever you want to call it. Like, we don't really have a label.
Right.
We believe in the natural world, right? We believe in respecting the natural world and things like that. And so some people practice with religion beliefs, such as, like, there's a lot of people in Mexico who are shamans too, who actually bring in like their Catholic roots into it. So they're saints, they use their saints, they use their angels, things like that, and Jesus to help with the healing and things like that. And then there's other ones that just ask for the old gods, because we do have the old animus energies, because there wasn't really a god, like more like energy, right? And we told the energy what we thought it was, and so I use that, the energy, in that sense. And yes, I do work with angelic beings too, because I've seen, No,
I agree with that. I agree with that in a lot of ways. And I just think that, it's that I always say it, I've said it multiple times, I think it's okay to incorporate all, discern all those things, and then be able to make your own recipes and bring it all together in the way that's magical for you. And I love, and I agree about the belief, because it does, it takes any healing is only successful, in any societal tradition, if it takes two components. You have to want to heal and want to be healed, or be open to that healing, and then you can collaborate and combine the outside energy to coincide with that, co-create.
Exactly. And it's an important thing that you understand that, if, for example, if you have a client who's asking you to do something for them, and you're just like, that's kind of not in alignment with my, belief, then being honest is important. Being upfront, and that's what we're taught. I remember my mom was explaining this about, that's why she didn't go into this practice, because she wasn't in alignment with it, because she didn't believe in it. And who's gonna want a shaman or a healer who doesn't believe in them? You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone else in the family believes in their gifts and stuff like that. So she did she went the other path. So we call it
Right.
the middle path or the middle road, where we are gonna work ourselves, work towards our goals and work with other people and collaborate and things like that, and that we're gonna be able to do what we want in this life because we have the belief that we're going to accomplish it, and all that stuff. And so a lot
Right.
of people believe, or a lot of people who are looking at the shamanic practice from the
Mhm.
inside out believe, oh, that's like something scary, or
Yeah, no, I don't think I've never thought it was scary. I think it's
well,
I
there's a
think it's
lot of
very,
people who've come to me and
yeah,
say like,
no.
what is
Oh
that
yeah.
witchcraft, or and they're scared,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, no, it's not. It's just the way
Right.
that it's normally supposed to
Right.
be, where you're
And you.
you're supposed to just heal yourself.
Mhm.
That's
Right, right.
all.
And lead by example,
Yeah.
and lead by example. So that's where I kind of try. I mean, where I can understand in the sense of when I associated it with the path of the Christ and things like that, because that's was like when I think about it, that's how I can
Oh,
collaborate or
yeah.
understand with it. But also too, everybody has a different the things people are afraid of and then they're not comfortable with. I mean, I've had clients that reached out to me and asked me to want me to do, or even I remember a couple of years ago. This one's funny. I wrote this whole thing on. It was about somebody wrote on my thing about that they paid all these people for these love spells and can I
Oh,
help
yeah.
them and and I wasn't rude about it, but I was like, that I don't. Why would you want somebody that don't want you? I'm sorry, I don't
Yeah.
mean to disrespectful, but and plus that's not my. I mean, that's not my forte. So, but I definitely, I hope you get the help that you need, and I'll forward you to whoever specializes in things like that. But I don't, you
Yeah.
know. But I've always will just tell people straight up, you
Mhm.
know, or not to, don't knock on whatever door you knock on, you're going to get an answer to.
Yeah.
And I've had to actually exit clients for that too.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, no, I'm not walking into. I already warned you on some shit that I don't need to know. I don't open doors that knowingly, you know what I mean. Sometimes we all have to learn things that we are being shown things that we don't know about or whatever, and for whatever reason. But knowingly or willingly, with the intention, I don't I don't I really don't knock on doors. I'm not a curiosity kills cat type person. So in that sense, but um or trying to gain all this power and
Yeah.
stuff and open play with things because that's when they don't even know what the heck they're you can't just do that.
Just
And I
letting
feel
everything in.
it's like you need to try to try to help them, man. I'm trying to warn them because it's kind of it's what I just hear a loose leaf. I just heard a loose leaf spirit in the sense of where they don't they might not they don't know because they think it's a game, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's where and that's what it is, and a lot of it isn't a game.
Mhm.
And I do take our work very serious, and my intentions in it, you know what I mean, and things like that. I do take it very serious, and yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. Mhm.
I've had examples of that stuff too in my
Mhm.
family, and it's so hilarious because it's like everybody, my family is already intuitive and things like, and
Yeah.
they all are gonna choose their path no matter what, whoever tells them
Right.
whatever. But I had older cousins who are old, the first, the firstborns, pretty much
Mhm.
do
Mhm.
dumb stuff like that, right? Test the waters, and then they were the examples.
It's like what the fuck you
What
think's gonna
not to
happen?
do, what not to do, because they did like was it my so my great aunt and my grandma, they're just regular healers. They're just like help people
Mhm.
out or whatever. And these girls, because they're the the firstborns of their children or whatever, they wanted to you were curious about magic, right, or
Mhm.
witchcraft, and
Mhm.
and then they tapped in. They have gifts, of course. They're psychic and highly intuitive
Mhm.
and things like that. But they went the route of like, let's test the waters with love spells, and it backfired big time. And so it's
Oh
just like,
yeah.
It was so bad that it's like you're seeing all of the misery that's happening to your life right now is because you projected that onto someone else and you try to do
Yeah.
the same thing to them, so it's coming back to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we were shown this on purpose, right? So that the younger gender,
yeah.
the other cousin, like, don't fuck that up. Right?
And then when shit started, yeah, and then when shit starts happening in their life, they're looking at, you know, they're like, oh, you did this to me. No, you fucking did that to yourself. I tried telling you, but you didn't stay in your lane. You know, so I'm like,
you tried to bind someone and you got bound. Like, you bound your own self. Like,
right.
That's what it was.
And I'm like, it's like I don't know. I always look at it. I mean, to me, and I'll be the first to say too, like you know, what I do, you know, what I know and what I've learned up until this point, because I still am learning we all learn every day. I always open myself to continue to learn. But you know, there's it's interesting because it's like I feel like it's like one hit wonder stuff. It's like everybody thinks it's all cool. We all have gifts. Everybody can tap in and you know, in your intentions, and then, you know, God or the divine will always send you who's my verse is popping up on my phone. Okay, so everybody will, you know, you'll be sent the proper frequencies to help you along your journey, as always. But you know, but stay, it's just, I don't know, it's not worth it to me. I just got brain zapped. Something doesn't want me to say this. It's no different than gang violence if you think about it, you know. That's the thing, or any kind of violence, anything throughout time. It's like, what do you think that energy is going to go after? What did you promise it? Yeah. You need to, you know, people need to know what the hell they're doing. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah, and then when they get, like, I think it's just it's definitely curiosity, because when I saw this happening, and
I've seen it happen to a lot of people.
As a kid, I was like, damn, I don't want to get into that. You know, even as a kid, I was like, because they're you know, they're older, they got married, and all kinds of drama happened with their marriage because they're the ones that actually had the love spell on their husbands, you know. And then I'm like, why would you do that, you know? And then it got crazy with them, and so it actually traumatized me, because I was like, for a minute, I was like, I don't want to get married.
Then you're I know.
To get married, that's fucking crazy, you know. And so then I realized when my aunt told me they're doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing, honey, and you're okay. You're not gonna be like that, you know, and things like that.
I feel like it's all. I feel like I'm not trying to. I feel like you're like we're inherently protected. Like you are, like, you know what I mean, from that stuff. But even though we had to heal a lot of it, when you're talking about the generational healing, it's kind of like it was just like playing Frogger. And I've said that a lot too, but in a way, like the energy, like you're like in this golden bubble, and it can tap on you a little bit. It's like trying to tap. And you're like, what the heck? I don't even know what the hell this is about, right? when you're navigating through your life, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? So we're cleaning up old baggage and stuff, and also too think about a lot of things that we don't know about. I mean, every family and things like that have things that people take into their grave. Yeah. You know, so
big time.
And so we only can sense or feel. You're like, whoa, I think that this, and plus past life stuff and all that all of it, it all's connected somehow. So,
well, it's all intermingled. Like like in my belief system, past, present, future is all one. It's all one state of mind. It's all within you already, you know, and that's why you get insight and foresight. You know what I mean? Like insight in the present moment of your past and your future at the same time, because you're already living in that, you know, in the what we call the Hubnaku, which is the center of time. So it exists relative to you right now, within you at all times, you know. And so that's what we're taught, is like, that's why it's easy for people, like people might not realize that how easy it is for you to tap in if you just sit still and ask, you know, like,
I know,
you know, like, how come this person keeps showing up in my life? I don't want them, or you know, just like asking question,
Right.
right? And you'll find out like what the meaning behind it is, and things like that. Um, so yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting that we're on here, that we actually that the peace dealer suggested that we connected, because it's what you just said. I feel like that's happened to me in different increments, but even right now, I feel like I'm meeting people that are all a part of me in different lives or different time zones or different time frames. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I very much connect with what you just said, big time.
Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely something that is very apparent now than ever, now than
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. I would say that with a lot of people, especially the people who are remembering things. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when a lot of people say, "Oh, they're still asleep." I don't like that term. That's like giving a negative connotation to people. Like they're on their own path, right? They're individuals.
Oh yeah,
They're gonna
yeah.
choose what they want to believe in because it's based on their soul's journey. It's
Mhm.
their soul's journey.
Mhm.
They do whatever they want. Leave them alone, right? And
Right.
so that's how it's like. But those people who are on a soul journey towards realizing certain things about their or remembering certain things,
Mhm.
then they'll come in alignment with that in their own time. And so it's very
Mhm.
important for us not to, I guess you could say, dictate, how that,
Right.
or whether or not someone's asleep or awake.
Or yeah, we're not separate, because because there's parts of us that are, when I talk about or speak about learning, there's parts of us that are still connecting to high, or not even in the sense of being there's always more. There's more information. There's more things that spirit wants to connect with us.
Mhm.
So we're willing, and and we're in an ever flowing evolution as well. So it's not like to certain people. I've even came across to came across a lot of different people, just even in my my town and things that I've worked with and
Mhm.
stuff like that, where it's like anything else, where this is the way it is, and they just they're doing they're doing their practice the same way they always have, and they just shut that door right there and didn't choose to evolve and to learn and grow. And it's like, I don't care how young somebody is, and I don't care how old anybody is. I got something to learn from everybody. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
always felt that way. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the elder and you're gonna listen to me and this is the way
Oh,
it is. It's like, no, man, we all can learn from each other,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And about the whole woke and things like that. And I too and I know, and it does get frustrating, but I realize you can't argue. It sucks to have to watch it from the sidelines,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking, okay, so I just say, God, show them the truth.
Mhm.
Or but the frequency or whatever, and I'm sure somebody said that about me too, so, and it's fine. Right. But the frequency will is always delivered, and when it's meant to,
Mhm.
when it's meant to connect, it does. When the light bulb, I call it the shattering of the light bulb. So when the light bulb is meant to connect, and the energy's balanced and ready, it can receive. So you
Mhm.
can't force nothing on nobody, or because
Yeah.
it really energetically, aren't we taking on their karma when you're trying to say, look, this is what it is. This is how you got to see this.
Exactly. That's
You know.
that's not our job. Like I would tell
Mhm.
people like all my like because I initiate people into Toltec shamanism as well, and I was like, it's not your
Mhm.
job to force your beliefs on anybody. It's not your job
Right.
to force healing on anybody. It is not your job. If
Mhm.
people come to you for advice, give it to them freely. Okay.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
separate from the outcome because it's not your job to
Right.
do that
Right.
if they don't listen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because it is. That's
It's more
very true.
straining on you if you do that. If you're attached to everything, right? Like it has more strain on you and takes a toll on you more than the person, right? Because it's like you're like trying to be
Mhm.
like, come on, like yeah, encourage them and stuff like that. But it's not your life to live, right? Like
Right.
I have
Hey,
to wake up in the morning and face their life. So
that's true. Jessica Martinez, I wanted to, yeah, you're right. That's true. That's to me is like the divine wisdom or whatever. I always experience, and I don't even know it at the time. A lot of times, I'll experience something, and then all of a sudden, somebody else will be going through it. In that sense. So God said, "Let there be light." But it's interesting because and I've had things happen that I wasn't even looking for, but I think it was being shown to me, but I was trying to really figure it all out, figure it all out and connect it. And then I was like, nope, that's why I said, stay in your lane. I think I caused myself a lot of stuff I didn't need to, trying to, because when it's meant to be revealed, it'll be revealed. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a Scorp rising. I got a Scorp rising. Maybe that's what it is. Because I'm not a care. Yeah, I think it's like
before it happens.
Yeah, like something's up, but you're like, oh, and there's this like it is true, So but in the same respects, I'm not a curiosity kills the cat type person, but I can't deny some of the things that's gone on. Right, so you kind of got to balance that out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
it happens.
Yeah, well, so I think the whole shadow work, and when they say that the just for lack of better terms, or the spiritual journey or the awakening and being shifted out of your comfort zones and things like that, it's not a sunshine and rainbow process,
No.
But also too, I wouldn't change it, because I feel you need to be able to connect with all things. I do believe that love, not just romantic in all forms, or to know the energy of the divine, or the energy of that pure essence, universal soul, because I agree with that too. I don't think that I just think it's a universal love. It's a universal spark. And you have to be able to feel all elements of emotion, just like we feel all elements of our earth, to be able to connect to that full ring.
Yeah, you have to, because then it's kind of like, what's the point if you don't, right? You don't know.
Right.
You don't know what sadness is or what grief is, and you'll not really understand what happiness and joy feels like,
or gratitude even. It's like, or anything. But it doesn't feel gravy going through it at the time, but it's all beautiful. It is beautiful. It is beautiful, because if you hurt, it's a blessing that you actually felt that much, that you could love that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's true, because there's some unfortunately, there's some people who don't feel anything, and that's.
I don't get that, but that's where I gotta stay in my lane.
Yeah. Cool. That's good, I guess.
Well, I know. I know. And then here we and then here I am feeling everything, so I don't understand it, but I'm not mad at them. I just don't get, like, how can you,
how can you be so composed?
Right.
No, it's funny, because when I was little,
that doesn't bother you. Not even for
crying, like, you know what I mean?
Not even for 2 seconds. Like, they don't even got a twinge of being bothered. And I'm thinking, whoa, that's like, I'll think about something for, like, at least I get sometimes a lot, because I can feel it like that,
Like, I used to have this cousin of mine who, I guess you could say that she was very sensitive, like extreme. Like, it was like to the point, but I knew, because she was going through her hormonal changes, that, going from, as a kid into puberty. And so that's a really tough time for children, and so and that's when I was told, because as a little kid, like, she's reacting, or I thought she was overreacting being told, no, you can't go out with your friends, from that time to that time, because you were going to church, or because my aunt was, like, really, like, heavily religious and in Mexico, and she's just like, I can't believe you never let me have any fun, just like and me as a kid, I was like, what's going on? She just sat down to her and just started crying. I don't get it. And then my other aunt pulled me over. She's like, "Don't make fun of your cousin. She's going through some stuff right now." And I
Yeah.
was just like, I didn't get it. She's like, no, you're her age, okay?
I think I was so when I was little, I was so sensitive. I don't feel like it wasn't so much about, I don't think I ever reacted in not getting my way. I probably was a little, pissy sometimes, but I don't think it was really as much that as I always could feel people's actual truth. If that, when you're talking, I actually just got that, like, to speak it that way, like their actual truth. It's almost like if somebody is snippy with you or something, then they're trying to, well, I didn't mean it that way. No, the fuck you did, because I felt it. I felt the dagger, right? Even though you were trying to look at me like, right? You know what I mean? But I always felt it when I was little. So energetically, they couldn't lie to me. And so I was always a real super sensitive kid. And it makes a lot of sense now. So, even to the point, and my mom would say to me, "Honey, if you keep crying, they're gonna think you're abused."
Oh my God.
Yeah, she did. Because I would go to school, and like when I was like in preschool, whatever. Because I cried to go to school, and I cried for her not to take me anymore. And so, but and I just was so emotional, but there was nothing wrong for me to, but you don't understand that when you're little. I was just a real sensitive kid. And it's interesting that we have a lot of things in common, because my sisters too are highly gifted, and I had my family's gifted as well, and this a lot of the same things, the unique things you were speaking on with your family members and stuff like that. There's a lot of generational stuff with us too. And I remember my brother would call me and tell me, "Sis, you're crazy." He would say that when I was little, or we were growing up. He was like, "Sis, you're crazy." And then he calls me now, and he tells me stuff, because I used to tell him, I said, "I don't know, God gave me the truth." Like, and like you said, you're more in your clairvoyance. I am. I got a lot of the clairvoyance going on like that too. I just always, or some things are, you just think that it's your way that you think about stuff, but then you weren't taught it, and then so I was like, I don't know. I just thought everybody thought like that, or they knew that, but I'm not thinking I'm better than nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got lucky that I was taught, like, hey, that's not wrong, that's actually real, like, things like that. Like, every time I would have dreams, or every time I had visitations, I knew not to go to my mom, because she would freak out. So I'll tell my great aunt who lived with us, and she was a healer too. So she would always, like, first she'll clean the house out, clean it and do a quick clean and stuff like that, and then she'll clean me. And then she's like, "Okay, let's talk now about your visitation." And then I'll tell her exactly what I described the being or whatever. And she's like, "I've seen that being before." And then she was like, "Don't worry, that's a good one," or whatever, like, just teaching me how to trust, like, who to talk to, who not to talk to, and, things like that.
Right.
And so she taught me all that stuff. And my sister's the one that, like, she would freak out too, because she was kind of similar to my mom. She didn't really want to know. So she didn't have the clairs, like that clairvoyance. She had the clairaudience, where she'll get the whispers in her, like, in the middle of the night, and then she'll wake me up to see what was going on, and so she'll freak out, like, "Somebody's whispering in my ear," like, and then she'll tell me, "Go wake up, go see what it is," and I'm like, okay.
What's in my grandmother, my mom's mom, and my mother would always wake, like, when you're talking about waking up in the middle of the night, and she would always, my mom, if I woke up with a nightmare, or something of that nature as well, she would come and lay in the bed with me, and she would also wake me up too. But she never spoke it to me the way my grandmother did, but I know now, I mean, she would always say, "You want to come and have, Mom's going to have a coffee. You want to come set the table with me, and I'll make you something, get you something to drink," or whatever. It's because if she woke up like that. Right. And then my grandma would always, she was always very protective of me. And I've also had even my brother, like when if I felt when we all were living together, like in one household,
Yeah.
growing up, where I would fall asleep on the couch or whatever, and he would wake up, or he would wake up and come and wake me up, but no sooner he'd say, "Sister, are you okay?" Because he must have had something, but no sooner he's walking away, I could feel energy like pinning me down. It's like I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? And I'm going like this. Do you ever have that where you can't talk? And that's like the freakiest feeling where he's like walking away, and I'm like, I'm trying to, like call out to him, but I couldn't. And like and I've had a few out of body experience, like where you wake up and you can see yourself like that. I've had that a few times.
Yeah, that's
but I've
astral projection. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
you learn to control it after a while.
I didn't even know the hell I was doing it. You know what I mean?
As a kid, I used to do it all the time, and then I like, okay, I'm going back now, and then lay on top of my body and just be like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, and then I'll be faded. Wake up, wake up. And my sister like, shut up. You're awake. Shut up. You're always talking. Wake up, wake up.
Okay.
Like, because I was told, always say that when you're coming in. Tell yourself, wake up, wake up, wake up. Merge, you're merging. You're merging with your body again. And so that's what because before I used to be like chaos, like just randomly, and then I couldn't control it. And then when I was told, no, you have to learn how to control it. You can do it. And obviously, if you have the ability to do it, you have the ability to control it. And so I used to always say that to myself. I have the ability to control it. Therefore, I can do whatever I want.
I love it. Jessica says, "Gotta have a safe word."
Yeah, exactly. And that was mine, because you repeat it over and over and over and over. Your subconscious allows you to, or your consciousness allows you to merge back again. And so because you already know you're out there. And so you're looking at your body. You're like, damn, like.
But a lot of it's weird, because a lot of my experiences outside of that, it would be like it's almost like you're awake. I'm awake in a sleep state, and I know that something energetically wants to attack me, right? And I've had but actually I'm like fight my soul's fighting it, right? And or my energy is fighting it, but I'm awake, but I'm sleeping. And then when I actually do wake up, it's some crazy shit. Like it's kind of like when where it takes you a little while to feel all right. But that was a long time ago. Yeah, but it's almost like I knew something energetically was. I couldn't see it, but I knew it was coming, and I knew it wasn't good. You know what I mean? Whether it was something projected or whatever, but that was a long time ago. But I remember just kind of, I just remember praying, like actually knowing, like that's where I got, your soul always knows what to do before you do. You do. You know what I mean? And because because it's like that's how I had to learn that the hard way. That's the wisdom. I was like.
No, and then like was it because my great aunt's the one that taught me what to do, because she's like, you keep coming into my room and I keep asking you, why are you in my room? And so I know that you're doing this, and I'm like, I don't have control over it.
It's funny. Yeah, that's it. It is cool though, because we were doing some Reiki on my dad does it too, because I was doing Reiki. I was doing a session on a friend, in energetically I was like, he's like, why is your dad walking in this room? I was like, he is too. And and he was at home sleeping. And then we were laughing, making jokes about it. I was like, Harry G, get out of here. Yeah, I know it's wild, because sometimes I think even spiritually for me, if I'm being honest, a lot of those things, it's like when we say you learn as you go, a lot of those things, it's like you just stumble upon as you're walking through your practice and your journey, and it's interesting, because I was like, whoa, but I've always believed, I have always believed. I used to tell my sister, I was like, I said, we could like Christmas time or whatever. I was like, we could leave and go somewhere, and when we come back, if you all believe this whole place will be filled up. Not that we need monetary, not that it needs to be that way, but if just like there's power in prayer, there's power in belief. And if you're wrapped around a bunch of people that are Debbie Downers or lower level frequencies or criticizing type things, then basically that's stopping you're allowing yourself to be in a frequency that's stopping your manifestation power.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean.
You're matching, at that time, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We have to either go up or down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I used to have jokes. I'd be like, "You're fucking up my manifesting abilities," but
you're crushing my mellow. Get out of here.
Right.
No, I used to be such a I remember my dad, because he's a Pisces sun. He used to tell me, "You're so mean to people sometimes, Ari. You were just so mean." And I'm like, "What do you mean, Dad?" And he's like, "You would say things that we're all thinking, but you're supposed to be quiet about it. And you're this little girl, and everybody's just like, oh, she's so cute." And so we used to for example, I have a lot of family, the other side of the family who is afraid and fear-based, very fear-based, and all this stuff. And I used to call them out as a kid, and they'd be like, what you're doing is wrong.
Right.
And then kind of lecture them, and then they're just like, whose kid is this?
Right.
And then my dad, "You don't talk about that to your uncles. They already know that. Okay, just and I'm like, that's why they're poor. That's why they're always in debt.
Right.
Just random stuff, and then or that's why they're always asking you for money, Dad.
Because but you know what? Some of us just have the swords of truth, and so it's kind of like that Benjamin Button scenario. When you're little, you don't have the filter. That's why little kids are they're just they're happy-go-lucky, they're innocent, they don't care. And then when you're in your elderly stage, then now you can go back to that stage, because in between you had to behave. But not really. I mean, I don't really think that there's some people, obviously it's for a reason. It's because you're the swords of truth. I
would always feel my dad's energy shift when he was around certain people of our family, and I knew it because he didn't like them, but he was friendly. He's friendly.
Right.
He wants to keep the peace, and so I would always be like,
"Why are you putting up with that?"
Why is my dad feeling I'm very protective. I'd be like, "Why are you asking my dad again?" Just like that or whatever. You're doing something. That's why you're always, and then they'll just be shocked, "Oh, she's so cute," and then my dad "You can't talk to people like that, honey. You can't see." And I'm just "Oh man, I'm trying to help you."
That's cute. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy because I am a Pisces sun. What's your sun sign, Ari? I forgot.
Sagittarius, and I have Pisces moon and Virgo rising, and the Virgo rising was the one.
Oh, that's why he wanted us to link. Okay. That's cool. I don't think though. I just think that's cool. I had two cap parents, and so so here's the little Pisces in that household that's like this, and I believe my grandmother was a Libra. My grandma's a Libra, yeah.
My grandma was an Aries, and my great aunt was I think she was a Cancer. So she was so my great aunt was always helping me out with my gifts and stuff, and very matter of fact as well, telling me exactly, or telling me don't listen to your mom about that. She's just scared, because my mom would be like, I don't want to hear it. So she was like, because my mom's a Sag. Me and my mom, we have exactly the same chart, except for the houses and the degrees are different, but
Oh
exactly.
wow, that's cool.
And of course, like our inner planets are exactly the same, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much. And so, like, she's a Sag, Sun, and then Moon in Pisces, Virgo rising, just like me. And but she's just the opposite, you know. And so she went the opposite route than I did, and now we're like really close, of course, now that she
Right.
understands me,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Mm-hmm.
finally, like, because it's all out of fear, that she was denying what I was saying
Right.
and telling me I was
Right.
not, no, that's not true, and like things like that. So
Oh yeah, man. They wanted to
yeah,
lock me up. They wanted to lock me up a few times. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like,
yeah,
oh,
I think I was
this
listening
is
to when I was
fucking
like, yeah, I was
real.
like 17 when like I was saying all this stuff, like, because I was channeling,
Right.
and I was just like the blah, 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 just like,
Yeah.
and I don't remember it, of course I don't remember. But my mom remembers, and my sister
Right.
remembers, and they're just like, you were out of your mind or something, like they told the
Mm-hmm.
therapist to come talk to me
Dude, I know.
to see how I was
That's
doing. I was like, I don't know what you're
that
talking about. Like,
that's traumatizing on its own. And here's the thing is because um the other part to that is, and that's why people needs to good support systems, and you're lucky if you have it, and or to be able to actually talk to people and stuff when you're going through different experiences, and that people that have the knowledge or been can help with that. um but it's a scary place to be. That's traumatizing. I think me and the Hope Dealer, she coined psychic PSTD, or psychic post traumatic, right? It is.
oh yeah,
It's true though. It's very true.
yeah, yeah. And so, like,
Hmm.
because that happened when we didn't live with her anymore, with my great aunt, so I didn't have
Hmm.
anybody, helping me out during those times or whatever. So that's why my mom was like, I don't know what to do with her. Like, and so like, luckily, like the psychiatrist or whatever, she didn't think anything was wrong with me, and I was like, thank you.
I know. Thank you that they took you to the right one, man. That was divine intervention.
It
Because
was
otherwise, it's
amazing. She
like,
just looked at me. She's like, "So we want to talk about like what happened?" And I'm like, "Not really," because I'm like,
but
I can't remember.
right, but yeah, and also too, it shuts down. Children should be, I feel like children should be, or not every situation or whatever is perfect, but I feel like they should be nurtured and be
Mhm.
able to feel safe in an environment. And when you're going through those types of things, it's kind of that's why I think a lot of the gifts and things like that were shut down. But that's why we're in the frequency and the time frame we are, if
Yeah,
we're speaking the physical evolution of it all. It's
yeah.
interesting because that's a lot. Even like when you were little and you had when you were scared or you had a nightmare or whatever. And but imagine going through all of that. Man, antique dolls used to freak me out. I woke up at my grandpa's house and
Oh yeah,
like
it
it was like
was.
a fucking scary movie. All these antique dolls.
Yeah.
I fell asleep and they didn't leave me out on the couch. I woke up and it was all like a scary movie light and these old antique dolls. And I remember this one was cracked, like, and I'm looking and I'm like, where's my brother? and I literally had to make the decision whether I was too scared, whether I was gonna, well, how scared I was I gonna be brave and run out the bed and not, run out the bed and get to safety. And or just lay there like all night staring, like, like, but I made the decision to run. I got out, man. But it's just a funny story I think about.
Yeah.
I was scared, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what the fuck? You're like looking. um that's interesting. But
Yeah, that's because, like you mentioned in a movie, like, oh,
it
maybe,
was like Insidious, now that I think
yeah.
about it, before it even came out. That's exactly what it reminds me of.
Well, there is a lot, like, I remember a lot of the 80s movies, like the scary movies. They were extreme. Like, you don't really
Mm.
see. that type of extreme now. Like you see just gore now, right? Like just gore.
Yeah.
And now the back then it was just like they were using like, you know, dolls against you. Your toys. Like
I don't know.
toys, you know, like it's just damn, nothing's safe, you know.
I had some deep-seated trauma around The Exorcist. Seriously, I had to overcome that, but I was like, I'll never watch that shit again in my life. I did. My dad liked scary movies, and he used to watch it, and I would stand in the kitchen, but he had the TV up really loud, and I would be standing there crying, telling my Mom, I'm scared, and I just remember then I would have nightmares and everything just by hearing it.
Yeah.
And so I made myself watch it as an adult, not because I want, because I had to face although I still don't like it, but I just watched it because I was like, okay, it's just a movie,
There is with everything that we watch, there is a subconscious program that happens. So that's why I always tell people, you just, if you're afraid of certain things, think about the first time that you thought about being afraid of that,
right,
and most likely is going to lead back to a scary movie or story you were told. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, that makes sense, like for sure. Okay, so for sure, like I was always told, be afraid of the living. Okay, be afraid of the living over the dead. Okay?
Yes, I agree with that.
Because I remember one time that there's that movie with that I think John Wayne Gacy or whatever, that clown guy that murdered a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So there was this movie that my cousins were watching about that guy, and it was like this guy in clown makeup murdering people, murdering kids. And so that was in subconscious recorded behind my head, because then I hated clowns after that.
And I think I was scared of clowns when I was little too. Yeah, not scared of them, but I
understand why I don't like them. They're. And so I remember my aunt telling me, remember, you better be more afraid of the living than the dead, and things like that. And so
I agree though.
Damn, like now I think about it, it's because of that. Like that's my initial program, and so I have to overcome that, because as a kid I was afraid of them. For no, like, and like as soon as I would see, I'm like, just walk going the door. It's like, what are they hiding behind that makeup? Like
right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Even where did the clown even derive from? Because basically, it's a mask. You know what I'm saying?
It's a mask.
You know what I mean? It's crazy that we're even talking about that. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a mask, and they're hiding something. So
right.
They're hiding their true identity.
Right. That's right. Yeah, they're hiding their intent. It's like you want some candy, little girl. All right.
Listen, Manny G says, I love scary movies, but the spirit ones are the only thing that's remotely scary to me, because that stuff can be real. Well, yeah.
I don't really watch. I mean, my sister used to love to watch scary movies, and she would. I would watch them with her, but she knew I didn't like it. But I would take one for the team for her, and she would laugh, man. She would just laugh. I was like, dude, even to the point where my one sister, I was so freaked out. But I think, you know what? Sometimes I think they're past life triggers. My sister was like seriously convinced it was one movie that, and I don't know, man. I don't think they should have any type of rape scenes or anything like that in movies. But I'm gonna tell you, they were like seriously. My sister seriously thought I was lying about something because it triggered me that bad. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, I said it fucking freaks me out. Like it, but I think I think I had a lot of trauma like that in a past life. That's what I linked it to.
Yeah.
So
that can happen. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
We definitely can pick up on the old stuff. Like, for example, I used to live in England.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so it was very sensitive there, like overwhelmingly sensitive, to the point that I was like, why, like, and so I would go to like different castles because I was led there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you guys are assholes. Like, like you guys hung me here, you know, like, or
Right.
you guys drowned me here, you know, like, and so I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm so sensitive to this land. And so there was this one
Mm-hmm.
particular castle, I forgot what the name is, but it's over there in God, near King's Lynn, England, Norwich Castle. So
Mm-hmm.
there they have, you know, it's a big castle, so it's now a museum. So they have all these like different like things on display. But when you go down to for the tour down to the basement, that's
Mm-hmm.
where they have like every single like people that were jailed and stuff. And so you feel
Yeah.
the crazy energy.
Yeah.
You're just like, I remember this. I know where to go, you know. And so I'm
Yeah.
walking like with the guides behind me, and I'm just like walking towards, you know, like, and I'm just like, oh my god! And I turn the corner, and there's this chair, and this chair was specifically meant for women that were
Oh,
considered.
I'm very.
Yeah, and so it was this chair that they would put at the near the river or in the river or whatever, and they would like dunk the girl in there, and if she drowned, she wasn't a witch. So
Mm-hmm.
why did the freaking guy tell me to sit on it? I was like, no, I don't want to sit on it. And he's just like, come on, you're little enough. You're little enough. Everybody else is like a guy, or you know. And my mom was there, my daughter was there, and my mom's like, this is not okay. Like,
Is it? Is it? I know. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how?
too. She was kind of
Mm-hmm.
freaking out too. She's just like, oh, I don't like this, you know. And then he's like, but you're the perfect size for, you know, because it's small. It was a small
Mm-hmm.
chair, and I'm like, this is fucked up. I'm reliving this, you know. It's just like
And
I sat there and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm reliving it. It's okay. I'm safe, you know. And so he like put the things like over the thing, and I'm just like, holy shit! And I'm like sweating profusely. I'm just like, dude. And then like I feel like my heart is like coming out of my throat. And I'm like, I'm gonna die, you know. Like, and he's just like, oh, so this is the, you know, telling the story, and I'm just like, hurry up, hurry up. And then he's like, okay, you're good. And then I was just like, okay, like I'm getting out of here. Like,
yeah.
so yeah, I had to relive all of the trauma.
I was just gonna say, but I felt like that. When you were speaking on that, I wanted to ask what something majorly shifted for you after that, right? You know, that's what I
Yeah,
felt. Yeah.
big time. Big time
Mhm.
after that. And my mom too, because my mom was so nervous. She's just like, I don't like this. Like, as soon as we went
Mhm.
down, like as soon as we started going towards the basement, I don't like it.
Mhm.
She's like, I don't think I want to go down there. And I'm like, I don't like it either, but I think we have to. And my daughter's, she's just like, okay, you know, like nervous too. And so I'm just like, okay. And then like the guide's like, it's okay. There's no bodies here, you know, anymore. And I'm like,
Right.
God. And he's like with a British accent, so you trust him, right?
No, heck, no.
So I'm just like, God, dude. And so like he told all the story, and then he also told about the story with the I think it was the plague. There were some plague victims down there too, like because they didn't know, they turned it into an infirmary, like they didn't know where to put them, you know, and things like that. So there's a lot of just death, you know. And I was just like, ew, like plague victims, like, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
like
I know we were doing, I can't remember the name of the exact place, but I've experienced energy like when we were doing like psychic fairs on this. It was a really it was like an old how I can't think of the name of it. I know they had a lot to do with like the old like the Purple Gang and things like that back in the day, and it was a bar, but then in the back and the history on it was like it was associated with that and an old brothel, and
oh
a lot of those babies I think that were conceived during that time frame were buried on the ground because
yeah.
all of a sudden it's a really super beautiful day, and we have our outdoor tents set up for like this psychic healing fest.
Mhm.
And then me and my sister, we were talking, she was doing Reiki and I was doing readings, and we were, and but anyway, she looked at me, she's like, dude, she's like, we're like, I was like, I agree. She's like, she's like, we're like literally, there's all these babies like under this ground, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I was like, and all of a sudden, like it felt like the Wizard of Oz, where the whole energy, not because she said it, it's almost like I think we were picking up on those things, but they definitely did not want it, not just us. It was the whole little fair thing, but it was like really like tornado type winds where the tents were just like totally blow, like it was crazy. It was like the Wizard of Oz sort of deal where the whole like a little storm that totally but just like passed through just enough basically to stop the fair, right? And then all of a sudden it's all nice and everybody's scurrying around trying to pick up their booth stuff or whatever, you know, or save your cards and your gems from not flying away, you know, the things you want to keep per se. But it was very interesting, and I actually seen energy manipulate through a couple. Then after that we toured it, and then I think yeah, we seen some energy manipulate, and the madam or whatever wanted to follow my sister around, and I told her, I was like, you know, so she kept trying to, and she wanted to follow my sister after that.
You're like, no, you're staying here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Stay where you belong.
Yeah, stay in your lane. You ain't coming with me. Right. So, but that's you know, that's part of, you know, the. And we talked about a lot of those things, but that was a new experience for her as well. So that's interesting.
It's funny because that's how a lot of people, like, I know a lot of people like that have experiences like that. They're just like, oh, I don't even want to care. I don't even know about that. I don't care about what that was about. like they're just like, nope. And it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, you can be nope, and then later on in life you're gonna be like, okay, I'm wondering about that, you know.
Yeah, she studied a lot of different things than I did, but I always if I speak about it, I always like energetically I'll say like we're like Sam and Dean from Supernatural. Like,
oh yeah,
like I'm Dean and she's Sam, like energetically, you know. Yeah. So it's like that's where we kind of balance each other out. Dang. Here we go again.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, I was as that said, I was like reading Jessica's comments. The South Node in Scorpio is like her South Node in Scorpio, and then I was like, mine is too. And she's like, had a few past life triggers like.
I think I've had a lot of them. I've had a lot of where I would be driving down certain highways and I like saw I saw myself in lots of ways, or certain songs or whatever. If I heard a song, it like for whatever reason triggered something.
Here, I want you to put your hands physically on your laptop, and then on your light, and then ground. Like
okay.
Being grounded, like for the grounding, you know.
I just felt my laptop move.
Yeah, because you're getting a little bit blurry on my end, so it's like make sure that you're grounded. Here you go.
You're like, come back home.
You're all the way over there. Come back.
I see it blurry. I know. I see it.
Over there in outer space. Okay, it's getting better. There we go. It's getting better. Okay. But the light will should be shifting soon, the light. But yeah, that's energy working through you. Manny wants to know if there's a way to tell astrologically or astrocartography what places are more cyclically sensitive. Yeah, well, you kind of know these things. Naturally, if you're inclined to go somewhere, it's because you've been there before. And you need to do there. You know, there's something that you need to pick up on, or there's something that you need to remember from that. Oh, there you see. Remember from that location, or integrate, you know. So that's why it's never a coincidence that you are attracted to certain locations globally speaking. And that's why I always say to myself, I was never like, it wasn't a coincidence why I had to go to England, because ever since I was a kid, I wanted to go there. I knew I had to go there. I had a lot of visions about these things, what I was and who I was, past lifetimes ago or whatever. And so I had to do this, you know. And so when that happened, before that happened, I was supposed to go to a different country. I was supposed to go to the Netherlands instead of England, but all of a sudden, that was completely erased, and I had nowhere to go. And so I had to find out, okay, where the hell am I going? I'm not going to the Netherlands, or where the fuck am I going? So then I had to go and talk to my boss and be like, I don't have anywhere to go, so what the hell? And so he fixed it for me to go to England, and he's like, you're going to England with me, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, okay, let's go. And sure enough, I had these crazy experiences in England, and because I had to experience it.
I feel like you were involved. Yeah, I feel like you had a lot of things. Or when well, there's a lot of crazy things that did happen there too.
Oh, see.
But even the not only the witchery stuff, but even the major assaults on women. Yeah.
And then there's just a lot of death.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of spirits there, okay? Like a lot of like just wandering about, you know. It's just like, oh my god, it was just so much, like so much. And I was just like, dude, am I like overly sensitive here? Like, what's going on, you know? And so I felt like I was a kid again, like just people just wandering randomly into my room, and I'm just like, can I help you? Like, you need to get out of here. You're in violation of my sacred, like space. And oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then they'll leave. Like, okay.
Yeah, sometimes it's trying, Ari.
Yeah, it is trying to come back. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so you will be guided. You guys will be guided. You know where to go. Like, your soul is calling you to these places to do some work, soul work. That's what I call it. That's what you're doing, you know. Like, for Manny says that whenever they go south to southern states, or they get super sensitive, especially in New Orleans, and it's like maybe that's your soul calling you there because there's some business that you have to integrate there, or some memory you have to remember, or something, something you have to heal, or something you have to integrate. And so that's why you're super aware, hyper aware, so to speak, of these certain locations. These are PowerPoints for the soul, like some of them. I know England was a PowerPoint for me, and then another place would be of course, Mexico has always been a PowerPoint for me and my family. And then, of course, certain places in California were PowerPoints. Not anymore. Like, LA was never one, because that's where I was born and raised, and I was like, I don't like this place.
Isn't that crazy? Because I kind of feel, I don't feel like, I always will say, how come I was born in Michigan? You know what I
mean? What here?
Right?
Yeah, California was never not. I mean, Southern California, okay, it could be very, like, when I was growing up, it wasn't that crowded, right? Like, now it's just like ridiculous. But I never had a connection there. Like, I never felt I belonged there. I felt like I belonged somewhere else, and so that's why I was always like looking at England. Oh, I want to go to England. Oh, I want to go there, or I was looking forward to going to Mexico all the time when my family would go on vacation or something. I'm like, I love Mexico. Let's go, because I was super like heightened, like my senses were heightened down there even more. But when I would come back to LA, I was just like, oh, like I felt like, and even now that I'm an adult, like because I still have family over there, if I go visit, I cannot go longer than a week, because I get really like, like I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like,
right.
Area.
I was just looking at the Valton. Absolutely, I think we talked about that a little bit in the beginning, because you asked, would you say if your surrounding has low energies and frequencies, could that affect the lack of dreaming, or is that just eternal in the self? It can higher. if you're higher level, if you're a higher level frequency, and then the energy around, because even this space that I'm in the moment, even last winter and stuff, me and my boyfriend were picking up on a lot of things around here. And energetically, I think there's some craziness around. I got some cool pictures, but it was but also too, absolutely, because I've also seen like spiritual barriers where I would just randomly say, "Man, there's something's going down around here," right? Where I feel like there's something's not right, and then I just had a feeling to like take pictures or whatever, and then I think I've shared them in the past. I'll send them to you, Ari. Where there was it almost looked like our interpretation was, it looked like two energy vines, but they were purple, and it was like looked like basically protecting that space, or stopping that, creating that barrier, and choking the negativity, or keeping it where it belongs, kind of thing. That's what I felt. But yeah, if you're that's why, that's why it is. But I'll start are important to be grounded and balanced, as you're witnessing real time right now.
Yeah, that's true. So if you're having, like, especially if you live somewhere where you know for a fact there's like issues going on, or with the energy or the social climate as well, it will affect you too, and so the best thing for you to do is to control how it affects you. Okay, reaction wise, right? How do you react to something that may be a little bit burdensome, or how are you thinking about it too, right? Are you feeding that energy? Are you continuously feeding it as well, like feeding the negativity? Like, this is negative, and so that's
right.
And if you can't shift that point of view, then it's better to walk away from it and then come back when you're ready. Come back when you're ready to deal with it. Because that's what I do with California. I don't go back unless I'm ready to deal with the bombardment of negative energy there, right? And so, and then me too, being like sensitive, I'm just like, the reason why I don't like it is because, first of all, there's just so much going on, right? And it's just so many people having a lot of trouble, and a lot of trouble intermingling, and nothing doing anything about, like, no one doing anything about the homeless, no one doing anything about the drug addicts, things like that.
I know, that's crazy.
That's what I feel as soon as I, like, a hopelessness, a sense of hopelessness, a sense of like no one can help me,
right?
And that's exactly. And since I was like a kid, I could feel that like no one can help me, hopelessness. And that was like, because in the 80s, there was a lot of police corruption. There was a lot of shit like that happening in those areas where I lived, and so in the 90s, the same thing. Drugs, crazy drug epidemic happened. People getting jail time for crazy shit, right? Like, and so there was just so much going on in LA in that time that I was just like, I need to get out of here. I had to go.
I never was in LA, but I did like I got I spent where in the heck was I? It was a Imperial Beach area, but I never went to LA. But there was I was kind of getting it was all good, but I was getting a little attacked there too.
Yeah. It feels like when you barely get there, you're like, oh, look at all this beauty, like all the ocean, and all this, whatever, the water and stuff like that, and you want to stay there,
right?
But unfortunately,
right,
energy shifts, and people, like, it's kind of like, in so many ways, it's definitely very like the energy is hopeless, because unfortunately there's a lot of suffering happening. Even in is such a beautiful state, there's still a lot of people suffering there, and then we see marriages between the very, very rich and the very, very poor. You see it magnified even more there, right?
DC too. DC too,
Yeah, that
actually.
when I went to DC, that's how I felt
Mm-hmm.
too. Like I felt like, oh, I want to know what's
Right.
history, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I want to go home now because it felt like LA. I was just like,
I
okay, I'm
I
over it.
was I was sad when I was in DC. Well, the first time I was in DC, is I ended up living in Virginia for like 7 years. Okay, so it was between, and I only visited DC a few times. That was the first time I ever actually went to DC, was then, and you're all thinking like the White House and all this cool stuff, right? And then to see how very rural it was in certain parts, I was like, whoa, I was blown back. I had no idea,
Yeah.
you know? And so that was interesting enough on its own that way too. So I agree with what yeah, I get that. I was blown back. I just did all the beautiful monuments and things like that
Yeah.
too.
And then all of a sudden you see like poor people
Hmm.
and like asking for help, and I'm just like, yeah,
But
all
they
these
have,
people who have the money to
right.
provide, just ignoring them and it broke my heart. I was just like, no.
Yeah, it broke my heart too, and not only that, and to think about how much it costs for all these apartments and stuff. These people are paying like
Yeah.
2 grand a month for these apartments, and it's basically the why. How is it
Bucks.
that much How is it that much money? Like, it blew my mind. But there are, a lot of people. I guess to each his own, and people sometimes like that type of culture, or you know what I mean. It's like, so. I just couldn't get it. I didn't understand it either.
Yeah. Like was because my mom has property in California, of course, because she still lives there. I'm trying to move her out.
Hmm.
You don't like it anymore. Let's get out of here. So I'm like trying to convince her, but she's like, oh, but it's like the beach,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, we have beaches here. It's called the Great Lakes. Okay, there's beaches.
Hmm.
And so I'm like trying to convince her because I took her to the beach in Lake Michigan. I'm like, see, there's a nice beach here, and
Oh,
you don't
okay.
have the crazy waves, you don't have to worry
Hmm.
about like, okay, never mind. There is animals in there, but yeah, it's so I'm trying to convince her, and she's like, no, it's okay. And so that like the whole thing of like, okay, like she's saying how the cost of living has like gone crazy up there, where
Uh-huh.
like remember when she barely bought her houses, she's like, oh, it was so affordable, and now it's just like, what the hell? Like no one can afford a house in California. They're like way beyond $500,000. Like it's like 800K or up, $1 million for a crazy box
I
looking
gotta,
house. Just like maybe like a studio size.
right?
And she's like, it's ridiculous, like people can't afford to live here, and even minimum wage isn't even enough. It's like people who
Trying.
can, if they don't want to do certain work, they're gonna have to because it's just
Right.
affordable.
Well, and there are, I live in Michigan too. I didn't know you lived in Michigan now.
No, I live in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Um, that's interesting too. I'll have to tell you that later. But there are very beautiful places in Michigan. Just, when I always said, why was I born here? Even though I've moved to different places, or I like to visit different places too. But the area that I was born in, I don't like.
uh, I've been through Michigan because on my way to Canada, so I had to drive up to Saint something. I don't know. It's a French town at the border. That was really pretty because it's all like,
Oh, Sault Ste. Marie.
yeah, that one, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That bridge or whatever. I went over that bridge.
Oh, yeah, the
I was
Mackinac Bridge.
driving up there, and I'm like, oh my god, Michigan is so pretty! Like, because the road actually takes you through, like around Lake Michigan, and you're like right there, and you can see the lake, like it's right there. And I'm just like, oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
it's so pretty here. And then, but then you get closer to the border, and you're like, wow, this is like crazy. Energy in Canada's way different. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was like, I like Canada.
I'm grounding in, but I feel like it's getting darker.
Oh,
Hold on. I can't. I don't know. Like all the light went out. Trying to get me to some light, y'all, so you can see me. Get by a window.
Yeah.
I gotta get by the window. All right, wait. I don't know. Now I'm just gonna hold it. It's like, but anyway, I think that you're more closer in a traveling area to where you could reach some of those really beautiful waters because there's some like crystal clear waters in Michigan, but even like they would say like the oceans and things, but they're the lakes.
Oh, hey Denise, thank you so much. Says she paid.
Oh, we're sorry. We're sorry.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that right now. Do you want? I'll do it. I'll do yours, Denise. Get your green card real quick, okay?
I know, right? I can't even.
Let me do yours real quick, Denise. Don't leave that on
Mm,
Oh look,
wait.
it's getting there. It's getting there.
He keeps the electric box keeps going shifting out, but it keeps powering out.
Okay, so we got Asterope, the visionary, awakening, walking into your truth, intuitive truth, and awareness. Working
There
with
we
that
go.
more, it will be very beneficial for you. And then we also have Alcyone, the moon star, working with lunar energies, which I do believe you are a Cancer sun, so that makes sense. Where you're kind of combining your soul purpose with your I would say the Cancerian personality, where everything is kind of like looking at the divine feminine in the way of like being the portal. Okay, being the portal keeper, being the one that receives love and gives love in return, the nurturer, the mother, things like that. I also feel like that moon energy needs to be worked with more lunar cycles wise, looking at your moon cycle, which is a nice way of saying your period. Where does it fall? Where does it fall? Where does it start? What cycle of the moon is it starting on? Okay, because sometimes we have like it starting on the full moon, or we are on the new moon, or the waning, or the waxing. Where does it start? Because you got to pay attention to this, because this is what can help you with creating the life that you desire and being more attuned to your divine feminine energy, your intuition, okay, heightening your awareness, right? And then we got Mariope, and we got the priestess, the high priestess. So that's the ultimate goal here, right? Your ultimate transformation is the high priestess, going into and embodying the high priestess, the divine feminine. So this is kind of like you're on that journey already. So now we just got to tweak things. Now we have to pay attention. We have to pay attention to lunar cycles. We got to pay attention to our intuition, how it shifts during these lunar cycles, and what we can do to work with that energy. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Denise.
I know
Oh, you never thought to link those together? Yeah, you should. Okay, so like it always tells you a lot about where you're at on your journey. If you are if your moon, it links to the moon phase, whatever moon phase. It really does tell you a lot about where you're at, and can help you through certain things too. Um, yeah.
I'm like I'm saging up in here.
Oh,
Again. Again. I did it before we got on.
Hi, Bolton. So we do have, or we're offering for 25, you can get like a one card from me and from Marcy, or you can do what a 3 card spread, what Denise did, and that is I think it was $40. And so you can do that via super chat. You can actually purchase that via super chat, because I don't think we have access to PayPal. So
something wants to shut me up. So I gotta get this up around my throat. Wait. Okay. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you. You too, Denise.
Thank you so much.
That's great. I can't believe how that. Or no, I can. Never mind. Shift. Oh my gosh. I've enjoyed actually getting to know you a little bit, Ari.
Me too. But yeah, so you guys can do it over super chat so we can see that you guys actually got something because I was like thinking, oh, I'm gonna have
I'm
access
only
to the
okay.
PayPal.
Oh, well, I don't kid. So you can see I can see the comments.
Oh, you can't see them?
No, I can see. I'm seeing the
Oh,
comments. I
okay.
didn't know if anybody else wanted any readings.
Oh yeah. So that's what, oh shoot, I had a banner.
That's okay. We're just having a good time.
Yeah,
I think that I think actually just us loosely talking,
yeah,
unraveled a lot.
yeah. I think there's a lot going on for everybody, and it's just I would
Yeah.
say like just take it one step at a time, and you guys are gonna be fine. Everyone's gonna be fine. Everyone's on their own journey, and whatever experiences they have to experience is whatever you have to experience. It's like a lot of people forget that, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of going on with comparisons, like what should I be doing now? Well, what do you think you should be doing now? Like just trust what you think. You like, if you think you're, oh, I should be doing something, maybe you shouldn't be doing anything at all. Like you should just be chilling.
Right. I definitely think, yeah.
That's
There's
how I
parts
feel sometimes.
there's
Like, you
parts
should be doing something, and then I'm like, no, you should be chilling. All right, like.
mm-hmm. It's hard to sit. I know it's hard for me to kind of, even when I want to be tired, even when I want to just relax, it's like it's hard for me to kind of relax. But I think I'm definitely going to rest down some more this weekend for sure.
Time for some chillaxing this weekend.
Some TLC.
Yeah, and my camera is like
Mm-hmm.
blurry now.
I feel that down in my sacral.
Yeah, it's blurry. Whoop. Come on. There. Ah! Yay.
She's back.
I was like, come on. But yeah, so if you guys, the sticker is telling you guys what the options are if you guys are interested in reading. But anyway, if you guys have any other questions, let us know in the comments what you guys want to know a little bit more about. Oh, you use Jessica Martinez says she used a PayPal link for a 3-card reading. Okay, do you want to do yours? You want to go next for the 3-card for Jessica?
Oh, sure. I keep hearing some around a son. Or do you have a son, Jessica? Yeah, because I just keep hearing son. So, or if you're worried about somebody's son, or I don't. That's all I heard about that end. My son. So I don't even know if that's for her. It is for her. Yeah, my son. Okay. Oh, worried. Okay, worried about getting a daughter. I have a daughter. Are you worried about getting into the wrong crowd or some people she's hanging with, or she I keep hearing son. So she could have more of a masculine energy as well, grounding things out. But pay attention to your dreams. You're balancing. Oh yeah. Woo. Wait. The inner child, and there's the Jesus card, the compassion for the self and reconnecting to yourself. You have actually. She was strangled and choked on May. Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Does she have? Did she have a son, or that's because I keep hearing my son. So, okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. So, besides your cards, now that we unlocked, now that we're talking about that, no, she. Yeah, that's my throat's like.
That's why you were feeling it because you were already tapping into.
Yeah, I didn't even realize. Well, okay, so you are. I can't tell you. I was going to deliver this with what I'm getting and how I'm feeling. You haven't even processed this grief yet, and I do want to cry. Okay, hold on. I got to get myself back in order here. It's almost like you can't even shed the tears. You could call me personally if you'd like. I don't, or instant message me, or however we can. But here in that you felt like you couldn't help her in the sense of that she like the things that were going on you didn't know about, or you did have a feeling about, or whether she reached out but she kind of I want to say combated against you, or you were trying to, you know, not overstep boundaries but keep her safe in the same respects. And basically I feel like it was wrong crowd, wrong time, bad situation type thing, even though and I hate to say that things were destined to happen, because I feel like there was nothing more that you could do. And she just said, Mommy, I'm with you. And she sits on the end of your bed off to the left, and you felt this. And she's talking about an animal as well. Do you have, okay, she said, my mom just got chills. You just got chills. And if you have a pet, but I feel like there's like a little dog, the dog or the cat, so, or you have both, because she's saying something about the dog walker, you know, the animal walking back and forth to the, or was there an animal with her? Was there an animal in her home? Because she loved the animal. So, knew all along we closed the generational curse. So, you know, in here, that's actually, you know, and that's, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. The dog showed me. Okay, thank you. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. It's not an easy loss. No loss is easy, but here's the thing. The ex gave her a cat. She still has a cat. We still have the cat. The kid. Yeah, because basically the energy's transitioned and transmuted, and the cat basically is. And I feel that you were like even afraid to keep the cat because you thought that the energy was going to continue with the cat. My daughter's still living. We are still processing. Yeah. My gosh. You know, it's crazy. It's been so crazy. I feel her death so near. I felt her death so near. It's almost like that, you know, it's hard to talk about those things. I mean, it's not hard to talk about them because a lot of times there's so many, that's why when discerning properties, because when you can feel that energy, but then you don't want, you know, you don't know if is it like something past or being attacked, or is there something you can do about it, to be able to discern that when you had said that you felt it, you know, prior, because I've actually felt things like that personally, and as well for certain things, and it shakes you to your core. But the thing is there's some, I guess. And on the other aspect, I got such nervous energy doing this for you right now, but I know it's because there's a lot of unhealed emotion around it. Definitely. Because things want to stop you too from your path. It's like energy that we don't even want to give energy to, you know, and it's so hard. It's so hard. I'm dealing with a lot of PSD and panic attacks. Yeah, that's why. In all honesty, for me, everything's not about money. In all honesty, if you'd like to contact me, I would love to help. I would love to help you or talk to you, or if you know, or be a friend to you if I can. You know, sometimes if you need somebody to help or somebody to talk to. Because I think we all need that sometimes, and I definitely would. But yeah, okay. I heard if you slow, because you want to connect with her, but you don't know how. But I heard if you know, when you slow down, you can slow down a little bit, because even though you do feel her energy, it's like, because just like anything else in our life, when we're looking for it and it is so fresh, when we're chasing at it outside of ourselves, like Ari, actually, you did this that basically coincides with what you said earlier. If we just kind of sit back and relax, we can hear so clearly. And I know that in times like that, it's hard to relax. You really can't. But it's about you connecting and having compassion with your own inner self, your own inner child, to be able to ground in that innocent state, to be able to balance yourself from the outside world. And this monster is, I hate to say it, but you know what I mean? Like when you said, Ari, you got to be more scared of people, and that's the truth. It's kind of like that energy. So that energy wants us to be more focused on that, and also wants you to be in that state of hatred. And even though I know it's not the time to be able to explain in that sense, or even expect you to understand where forgiveness comes in somewhere, however that would work for you, but that energy, I just seen like a sword being chopped, right? Like it needs to be nipped, because otherwise it's going to haunt you. But it's going to haunt you, but you also are going through a grieving process. So this isn't none of this is overnight. You know what I mean? Justice will be served. I just heard. Yeah, I am dropping it here. Yeah. The battle's won. The battle's won. Your daughter's beautiful. And I feel like when I kept hearing my son, I wonder is that has to do too with the grieving of the mother on the other end. Like, what has my son done? You know what I mean? Because it's crazy.
Oh, okay. There you go. State of Texas immediately picked up the case.
Yes, yeah, okay, thank you for that. Because here's the thing, I feel like the mother like when we don't want to believe that things are wrong, and and basically she we're not blaming nobody. I feel like it's kind of like it's right in front of you, but you don't see it because it's so close to home and you're clouded, and kind of thing. And she almost feels responsible because she was trying to protect somebody that she was trying to protect her own, that she when she knew that he needed help. But it's crazy. And like Ari said in the beginning, the soul's it's hard to explain. It's hard to understand in a lot of ways, because the soul's innocent, and it's like possession in a sense, because there's lower, when there's holes for frequencies to get into, you know what I mean? And that's why there's a lot of the stuff's amping up and more rapid with a lot of that's why our love is the most powerful thing, in that sense. But you have to love yourself and be grateful for, come to terms with the fact that find peace in the ways that you can when you're going through your grieving process, and know that, she never broke the cycle. And so she carried it generationally. But she held a lot to herself too, that mother, and her, basically get up and carry on. You know what I mean? It's like a trickle effect,
I do have a question for Jessica, if you know this.
It was felt on so many levels, y'all. The boy had some attachments, for sure.
Attachments are actually drug induced. Okay? Just FYI. So he was already on an addictive personality disorder issue. And unfortunately, people who are addicted do some stuff out of character. So if they're sober, they probably would never have done that, But he still needs to get some help for that. And it's a good thing that Texas is going to help him in that way, like forced help, regardless. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a bad road when you get to
a favorable outcome. I prayed for truth, and the truth showed. I know it took me a long time to get that out, and I hope I was able to help you. It was very it's very it's very fresh. It's like shattering.
Just the good thing about it is that at least you're there for your daughter. You know, that's the good thing about it. You could help her out the process. You know.
She's, yeah, so I just heard I'm fine, mommy.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like with addictions and stuff like that. People with addictions, unfortunately, they're themselves are victims of things too. And sometimes, you know, the only way out for them is to do drugs and to escape, you know, and it's not good, you know, for people around them. And of course, people
Right.
who are kind and loving, I'm pretty sure that's what your daughter is, attract those type of people because they want to heal them or help them heal. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that cannot happen unless the person themselves decides to do the healing themselves, you know, and so it sucks. It does suck.
I see pink Jessica. I just seen pink. Like I was like I always see like the waterfalls, but I just seen like pink, like pink water like dropping from your ceiling onto her. And
Oh,
green in a green, yeah, and green route wrapping around her heart, like a green ring around her heart.
yeah. So Jessica says that she ran from California because of the addictions in the family, had to deal with the energy and bring it to the light. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your angel Reiki, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And you know, and I have to I want to chime back in on this, Jessica, because you're going to be able to transmute this energy. You're going to be able to transmute the energy and actually be an advocate in some way, shape, or form, and also use your gifts to help others not experience these situations. And I know that that's the sucky stuff when when you think about, we don't ever want to think about any of these things, but when I talk about light at the end of the tunnel and that's the path you've been directed, the doors opening for that.
Yeah.
I know the assignment now. Wow. Whew.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
Powerful.
Yeah.
God, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Baby.
Absolutely. God bless you.
Yes. Oh man.
That's a
That's intense, yeah.
I think I think energetically, there's a culmination of this whole light situation.
Well, when we were talking about the wounding of the feminine, you know, and it's like at the
Yeah.
I was just like, there's just so much going on with the feminine, the divine feminine, that healing.
There is.
And so, yes, it's manifesting in different forms, you know, for a lot of people. So
it is. Oh no, I'm on. Thank you for allowing me to serve. I'm honored to be able to serve, and you allowed me in your space, and you allowed me to open up to your daughter's energy. I wouldn't be able to do that if you wouldn't open to that door. So I thank you.
Here you go. Oh, you're welcome.
You're a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful. I'm going to be thinking about you all night, Jessica. But it's the restoration and the balance. Wow. How are you doing, Ari?
I'm good. My cats are in here. They always.
Yeah, I know they're balancing out they're balancing out this whole thing we got going on.
Yeah, they're always like, every time anything shifts or they think, okay, there's something going on in there. Let's go over there and see. So they come.
Yeah.
Especially my little Capricorn, because he's very protective of me and our home, you know, space.
Yeah.
He's like a little warrior.
I had a Scorpio cat. It was beautiful. And a Scorpio pug and a Sagittarius pug.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
We're good. Thank you. Thank you. He's like,
We're definitely gonna hold some space for you, Jessica.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you
Wow,
guys. So
that's riveting. Okay, I have a Leo, and a Capricorn cat. Yeah. Oh, those are good little combo buddies, huh?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
so you're
Yeah.
like, oh, cat.
Mm-hmm.
Come here.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. We're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping. Oh, good
Yeah.
night, Jessica. We're gonna continue to hold space for you, okay?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, we will. I just felt that energy shift. I just felt a big shift
Mm-hmm.
too.
For a card and PayPal. Okay, so one from each of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you said,
Uh,
I just felt this shift. JLo's message popped up.
I did. I just felt like a big energetic shift. Um. It's not heavy anymore.
Uh huh.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's just like her message popped up as soon as you said it, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
hey. Okay, JLo, let's see. Okay, so one from each, right? So I'll start. Let's see what cards. Okay, I'm gonna
Here
do
these lights go again.
a full.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's blurry. Yours is good now.
I
Uh-huh.
No, I seen you. I know. I that's the first time I actually seen you blurry. I actually can't send right now for a reading, but alive he sending healing.
Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I was like, grounded. Just grounded. Imbalance in positive polarity, the Pleiades. Okay. So yin and yang. That's the first thing
that just keeps coming up.
Yin and yang, masculine, feminine. Okay. And I know for a fact that there's just a lot going on in life, with for everyone. But I feel like this one in particular is like it has come to a head. That's what I heard. It has come to a head with a masculine in your life. There's just a disconnect from their state of awareness versus yours, right? So you are trying to be like boundaries, 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 and they're like, let's push the boundaries, let's push the boundaries, let's push the boundaries. And you're just like, no, I'm staying here. I'm sitting here and I'm showing you what my boundaries are, and you're disrespecting them. So it's like the claws are out. That's what I heard. It's like your claws are out. Like I've been cordial, I've been kind, I've been respectful, and now it's just sorry, but I've been positive this whole time. Now I have to defend myself. That's what it feels like, the energy of defending yourself, of making sure that this person is aware. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
This person is aware you're not someone to be trifled with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't just get away with it. They have to take responsibility this time around. Big time, big shift in your power. Like you were just like ignore him and he'll go away. Now it's just like, nope, he's he's not going away anytime soon. So now I have to put my foot down, and now I have to be very real with this person. And so, like before, it was more of the imbalance and the positive, like, oh, I'll just ignore him, he'll be fine. He'll just leave him alone. Oh, okay, whatever. I do me, he does his. Now it's just like, for some reason now it's like you're done. You
Mm-hmm.
are done. Okay. I
Yeah.
just told my Leo daughter that today. She said, period, mom. So it's good. No, that's a good thing because you are finally in your throne. You know, the usurper is gone. The usurper
Mm-hmm.
of your throne is gone, and that's this person. The one
Mm-hmm.
that tried to take you off your throne is finally, you know, you're like, I put my foot down. This is my throne. This is my space. You don't belong here. You know?
I just seen like the gaffle drop,
Yeah, it's very
like
powerful
yeah.
energy, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good. That's good because you've tried your hardest years and years and years of trying to be the better and the bigger person, to be the empress, you know, with nothing, you know, nothing can touch you and things like that. But this time it's just like this person just wanted to learn the harder the harder way, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely because of other influences in his life too. Other influences are behind as well. Like, yeah, do it, poke the bear, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
they're like, okay, I'm gonna poke the bear, you know.
Trying, yeah.
That's exactly what happened, and they poked to the wrong spot, and you're like, nope, it's over.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's
That's one thing about us nice people though, huh? You know, just like eventually you get to that point. But for self,
but it's
for
because
yourself.
like it's more like she is like Lo. You do it because of your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You do it to protect them, you know, and and to show them what a mother does. You know, like we gotta respect. You know, we gotta respect, even though that's, you know, this
Mm-hmm.
person's doing this. I gotta show respect because my kids cannot see me being disrespectful. You know, because that's not how you know, that's not how relationships work and stuff like that. And so you're just like, now you're just like, you know what, I've been pushed too hard, and that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, basically, tragic things don't have to happen
Mm-hmm.
always for you to be able to heal something like in real time too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you just that so she basically transitioned a generational.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah.
feminine is ruling again.
Mhm. Mhm. I keep holding my hands on my, and then I kept on hearing when you were talking. I kept hearing because I kept hearing to the left, to the left. um, to the left.
Yeah, yeah, and so now you don't have to, you know, now you're just like, okay, they're gonna be
Mhm.
living their own life. I don't have to put up this front anymore. I don't have to put up this front anymore to protect them, you know.
Mhm.
Yep, yep.
Oh.
That's good. No, it has to happen, you know. Sometimes women, we tolerate too
Mhm.
much sometimes, you know. And
I,
we
yeah,
really do.
generationally, because
Yeah.
I think well, even I think a lot of people, you know, that stayed in situations like you said, like are just traditionally for because they felt like they were stuck or because they wanted their families to be to they thought that that was the unification of the family, but it's not. I think you're I feel like in a lot of ways that it would hurt, it's hurting the child more so than wanting to keep it together,
Oh
you know.
yeah.
I mean, that's just I mean, I can see that now versus our grandparents, you know, or when our grandparents and things like that, our grandmothers, and that was just traditionally that they just stayed because that's what they thought they had to do. And now, but it's not. It shows. I just got mine wrapped. But it's generational in that sense of breaking those cycles and
Yeah.
like what you think is isn't, and I think that the old traditions and the old ways that people have built these foundations on aren't always, you know, they may be the way for somebody, but it's not always for everybody. There we go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ari. You just shifted that energy my way. You're like they're not, you know, stay away from her throat. I felt that.
Uh-huh. And
Thank you.
I kept feeling something behind you, like
Mhm.
poking at
Mhm.
you. And I'm
Mhm. I
like,
feel it. Yeah.
stop. Don't make me.
Do it,
You're
Ari.
poking the wrong bear.
Do it, Ari. I give you permission.
Like, I'll fuck you up.
They're fucking with God's
And
kids,
laugh
man.
at your face too. Like,
Mhm.
she's like, I've been single for 7 years and taking care of me. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
so that's my card for you, J Lo. Thank you for purchasing. Um, yeah, sometimes that's the thing is that like the women in my family was that type of example too. We're just tolerating, you know, because they thought that was the thing, right? The only one that actually broke that generationally speaking was my mom because she was like, "Fuck this! I make more money."
I,
Mentality, I'm serious. I make more money
I,
anyway, you know.
and I, and I think that energetic. It was almost like the whole, like we're talking about the past, present, future, and the timelines being all in one. Because energetically, you were the one who was when you said that you were already taught that you were already dropping swords of truth from the beginning. you 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 were like almost everything about the past, present, future, right? Everything was all real time right there.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
And she set the tone. I love it.
Yeah. So she taught me like because when I got divorced right away because I was like,
Mhm.
fuck, like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck you, like I was like I make more money too, you know. And so I'm just like in my head, like I was like I hear like my mom, you know, like because she was just like you know, like she still like of course she still believes in love, you know, things like that, but she never stayed in a relationship that was
Mhm.
not beneficial, you know, for both of them, right? Like it's like if
Mhm.
it was bad and it's over, right? And so
Yeah.
she just never understood that train of thought when it came to her siblings, you know, and she saw the siblings drama and stuff like that. And then when I told her about mine, because she already knew right away, like
Mhm.
her intuition's on point all the time, but she does not. So I was just like, I told her about mine, and she's just like, you know what to do. You already have it. You already have it planned out, don't you? And I'm like, yes. She's like, good. And so I was about a few months pregnant when I decided to get divorced. So it's just like, I don't care if I'm pregnant. Shit, I got.
Right.
You know, like I got money. I got my kid. You know, I don't care. Like
Right.
not afraid, you know. And so I was lucky to have her support and that, like that she didn't tell me like that's not what women do, or you know what I mean, like you should try to work it out. And I was like, fuck that. Like she never said any of that. She's like, let's go. Like I'll give you the
Right.
money, I'll pay for the divorce. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, you know. It's like, but she was very, you know, I was like, yeah, like, and I'm not gonna stay in a loveless marriage. No, thank you. You know.
Right, right. I mean, and that's actually good that you had that support in that way as well, because even from a religious standpoints and stuff, people think, oh, that they're going to be punished or whatever because if they get divorced. No, God does not want you to stay in no type of an abusive situation.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and
Like
she
you're
was, and her religion, she's Catholic or whatever. What she was back
hmm
then. Not, I don't think she's not anymore. But like when she was, you know,
right.
she never even said that to me. And I was thinking she's gonna tell me to shut up and color, you know, like. But then I'm thinking that she'll be a hypocrite because she's, you know.
Oh.
So she was just like encouraging me, like, no, 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 I'll do it.
It was funny because it's funny because I kind of I would when we were little I was raised Catholic, but I don't I but when I would go to church when we were little, I would like see all the bullshit then. And I hate to say I know, but no, this I mean, because but not bullshit in the sense of like I just didn't like I don't like the two-faced stuff or whatever, but it's like I could see through it, or I could ask the questions, just like in the sense of like, well, do you honestly, if you really think God wants you to get your ass beat? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do we got to come to you and get an approved paper to say that people can get divorced? Because the divine love that I know does not want his children to be abused in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's more of like you're aware of like the
Hmm.
bullshit that people are hiding. You know, it's
Right,
the
right,
people.
right,
People. It's not necessarily the word, but it's the people, right? Like
right,
people
right,
who tell you what's what, right? And then they go
right.
around and do the same shit.
or they're manipulating the energy for what it's supposed to be for. And that's why, like, I see through those parts, but I don't hate the religion. I use it for what I like it for. You know what I mean? And so those things. But I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. I'm not writing nobody a letter to be approved by God. You know what I mean? I was like, how come nobody else isn't asking these questions?
Yeah. Or I never understood the whole confession thing as a kid.
Isn't that like a public? Isn't that like a shaming?
Yes, it is. It's a public shaming, and that's why I didn't like it. Like, how are you gonna fucking tell a kid that they're born a sinner, and everything they do is fucked up, and they're going to hell if they don't confess their sins to this priest, and then they'll be absolved of everything. You know, like I'm like, that's fucked up.
I wonder what they would have said when you went in there. Oh my God, God forgive me. Well, I wonder what they would have said when you first went in there. Do you remember? Me too. Forgive me when you say, "Forgive me, Father, for I've sinned."
Yeah.
And when they say, "Tell you," then they say basically, "Oh, what do you want to tell me?" Mm-hmm. And what would they have said if you would have said, "Well, you go first."
They're like,
I would, man. When we said, I would have got my ass beat too, because
my mom was trying to force us, like, and I love her anyway, trying to force us to get our, our first communion, things like that, right? And so I remember I hated it because every single story that the nun would tell was a contradiction, because I knew for a fact she was fucking lying. Like, you're fucking not walking the path, girl. I could see it, And so I would interrupt her and, like, ask questions, like, how come this? How come that? How come this? And she told my mom, and I finally stopped because my mom whooped my ass. Stop interrupting! Stop interrupting the freaking nun. That's so embarrassing. Stop doing that. She's a liar.
I was like, I could see that in a fucking funny movie, like a little kid in the confession. You tell me first.
Tell me your sins. Or you want me to tell you your sins?
Or, in +2, why? Okay, so if the drinking age is 21, then why can you drink wine in church? I've seen some of them. I've seen them people like tip that cup, right? And I'm not judged. I don't care about that, but I'm just asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
I think that was me and my sister's very first drink of alcohol was during communion.
But they're calling other people alcoholics, but you're using alcohol in the name of Jesus's blood. Why couldn't it just been Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why is it just like
it could be grape juice,
Right. Okay. So now you're getting little kids drunk. No, no. I you know what, in all honesty, I really honestly do love church. Like, I mean, I like the ambience and stuff. Like, I love different churches. And but I also yeah, just a lot of the stuff I laugh about too. But so I guess I gotta balance my that's the polarity, because some things that I find humor in things I probably shouldn't.
I like how they like the decorations, the architecture and the paintings and the
there are some very beautiful churches. There are very
the art is creativity, right? Creativity is coming from creator, so it's just like this is manifested in a physical form. Creator's manifestation, through the artist, and so I'm just like, ooh, this is cool. It's all channeled information too, you know what I mean? Like, everything that was built, like even the paintings, they're all channeled. They're not like coming from, like, I'm gonna copy this real quick and just
right.
It's definitely channeled that, so that's so you could feel it. Like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, those places, like, those ones actually really call me. It's like, even when you see the different structural, I just don't. Yeah, Italy.
Yeah, I've been there too, to Rome. Yeah, I've when I went to see the collection of the Pope's collection. That's what I call it. all of the plundering that happened. The plundering of all of Europe and the Americas and of course Asian countries and Africa, because he has a whole like museum in there. And I'm just like, yo, these are beautiful things, but you should give them back to the people that they belong to. Like, come on, man. Like,
right.
you don't really need Moctezuma's headdress, bro. Like that.
I got in trouble at catechism when I was little too. But me and my brother used to skip catechism but there was this one teacher, because she tried to make me write the act of contrition. That was the only one I couldn't actually memorize, and I knew him. And basically even I kind of was like that too. I was rebellious when I was little too, but I had my brother that was like, come on sis, do what you want, like you can do what you want. I remember she tried to make me write it like 50 times or whatever, and I'm like thinking to myself, who are you? Like who and you're gonna and who's gonna make me do this? I can't come back next week, you promise? It's like, and that was, I think, I don't know, I probably was like 9 or 10 then. But I remember me and my brother walk, because we would walk to the church. We would walk because we lived like close to it, and he would be like, sis, I don't think we're gonna go tonight. And then we would, because we had an uncle that lived around the block, and so we would go. My mom thought we were at catechism, but we would go to my uncle's and play video games, and then go for an hour, and then go home.
They're like, she doesn't know, but it's okay. I should have not got out.
I think eventually she, we were able to actually, we would tell her. I know she went to bed lots of nights probably thinking, she probably was like had to have her game face, but some of the stuff she probably was just laughing, crying when she laid her head down at night about some of the things, because we did used to tell her. We would tell her. I mean, eventually we did tell her that we were at our uncle's house playing video games and we skipped catechism.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Yeah. Oh, did you pull a card for JLo? Sorry, because it was just one card for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're off on it. We're almost at, yeah, we're just having a family reunion. Yeah. I enjoyed it very much though. I needed to laugh. Thank you all. Yeah. To be in to be in the energy is beautiful. I appreciate it. Oh, pray, there's a miracle. You are the shifter of your frequency. You're the shifter of your miracle, JLo. And yes, absolutely. There's a hard yes on this card. Because you want to know why? Because of your patience. You've been manifesting in this for a long time, and it's kind of like it's going to be a miracle if this happens, but instead of that, from that standpoint, it's the whole shift of frequency and perception. So now you're not manifesting things out of balance in your life. You're manifesting things that you want because you've totally shifted your frequency. So, oh yeah. Her energy is now grounded and solidified, I just heard.
Aw, yay, JLo.
And you are in integrity, because you've actually questioned yourself about that too. You know, when things weren't coming together in the way that you wanted them to, you were kind of, but that was kind of an energetic attack, because to ask yourself those questions about, well, did I, have I done this, or am I not in integrity? No, you were, and you didn't give up on yourself. You always been in integrity, and we're not all here to be perfect, but you're in integrity. You stay. When I say staying in your lane, you stay in your lane. You know what you want and why you want it and what your intention is, and it's not for things that are abusing. God bless you, miracle.
Yay!
She's got the Harry Potter one. I heard that say there's in the bottom of the deck is enthusiasm. Why I have such a hard time getting these on the. My Archangel Michael cards and my Virgin Mary cards are connected. I got card decks that I just put together that they just want to combine.
Yeah,
but
that's cool. Yay!
Oh,
I'm excited for you, JLo.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want to pull a closing. Okay. In closing, thank you all for sharing this energy and this space with us, and most of all, Ari for actually, I had a great, beautiful time. But I want to leave on a closing note. Um, I deserve to live my life as it was given to me to live, so it is. Yet we don't have to explain nothing, and it's not. We were talking about being rebellious tonight, but but it's not in that aspect of being rebellious, or it can be sometimes. But your choices in your life and your dreams are yours, and you're welcome to be. You belong anywhere you want, and I believe that everything is possible. I've always believed that. I believe the impossible is possible, but in stepping into the energetic shift in the frequency, I think a lot of people have given up on their hopes, dreams, and wishes to accommodate others, but really, you're helping them move forward by actually claiming that space in your timeline. You're transitioning and gifting that energy. So, and opening doors.
Yes, look at her. She says, she said her time was 9:52, which is a human design channel. Nice. Ooh.
I think I'm a generator.
Yeah, mine is some type of manifester thing. Manifesting generator or something like that. Yeah. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I was like,
I have to get I actually have to probably find someone who does human design and give me an in-depth analysis, because I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, me neither. I've looked it up, but I've never actually got. I mean, besides reading reading the reports or whatever, I haven't actually had one either.
Yeah, I tried to figure it out, because I was like, this is kind of a different perspective, I like it. And I'm just like, I don't understand. I'm just gonna find someone to read it for me. I don't get it.
Right. I know it is kind of. I agree with you there. It is complicated. I mean, because they give you, okay, this is what you are, but because they want you to buy the other parts of the report.
Yeah, that's why. True. Yeah,
you gotta really. You gotta this
for this right. Thing. All right, you guys, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for being here and for just supporting the channel, and continue to support the channel Mystical Illuminations. And if you guys are interested in checking out us on other social medias, you can definitely find us on Instagram, and we're on TikTok too. We're both on TikTok and the same names too. Okay, so if you guys want to up there, definitely more than welcome to find out what we post, our shenanigans on a daily basis, especially me with my memes and stuff. You gotta.
I like seeing your stuff.
Like, you just gotta laugh sometimes. Like, you gotta. But yeah, so yeah. Thanks for subscribing and supporting the channel, and thanks for all the everyone who purchased the readings. And yeah, it was fun. Thank you so much, Marcy, for holding space and being so awesome. And
thank you
giving us such awesome readings and everything. That was great.
It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure to hang out and to be a part of in the Mystical Illuminations family, or just to actually just talking and everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful how everything just kind of opens up when it's meant to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about all of that. Even if we're just talking about whatever, the frequencies that are always meant to be delivered are. And here we're sharing our childhood stories, but it actually opens up a lot for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. All right, so that's all we have for tonight, you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure to follow Mystical Illuminations on all the other social medias.
what she said.
No. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're in everything. No, just kidding. We will be, though. All right, you guys have a good one.
God bless you all. Thank you.